Hey yo, this is Amir.
And this is Hanafi.
And this is Nazarene.
And we are the Golden Nuggets Podcast.
Wow, Jamil, is that a new Rolex you're wearing?
Shh, we low profile a bit leh.
I thought you say you earn 2,000 a month. How you afford Rolex, yeah?
Oh, I found this company. They provide good investment opportunity leh.
Sure not.
I go to this company it's called Aliyah Rizq Farm. They let me invest in a flock of sheep leh. They also help me sell the sheep, and with the profit I get my Rolex lor.
Hey, legit or not? I see your sheep can or not?
Can. You just go to tgnpodcast.com/arhinvest. Then you can join me to see my sheep at the farm lor.
What's the website again?
tgnpodcast.com/arhinvest.
Okay. I sent the message already. Can't wait for my first Rolex, eh?
Hey Nuggets, this episode is brought to you by Aliyah Rizq Holdings. Now, back to the episode.
Welcome back, guys, to the Golden Nuggets Podcast. And we're still with Ashraf and Nabilah.
Alright. So, Nabila, can you share with our listeners what actually do you do for a living? Aside from being a shepherdess.
Yeah.
What I do for a living
Yes.
is I am a trained reference. I'm a trained clinical psychologist, but right now I'm a senior therapist at a local organization, and I work primarily with couple and family therapy. Yeah, so that's my full-time work.
Okay. What do you study to be what you are doing right now?
I studied clinical psychology.
Okay.
And then as my current work, because it's specializing in couples and family therapy, I do a lot of courses to upgrade my skills in this area. Yeah.
Right.
And where do you study?
I actually
Psychology?
studied in Malaysia for my degree and my master's. And then my postgraduate diplomas are all from Singapore.
I see. Okay. Do you enjoy what you do?
I love what I do.
Okay.
I've been very passionate about it, even from very young. And so when I learn different skills, different ways, or different families that I attend to, it brings a sense of fulfillment for me. Yeah.
Right.
What do you think is the most or the most common challenges that couples or married couples actually have nowadays?
I mean, just generically, it's about communication, right? Because I think sometimes we get into a habit of making assumptions about our partner.
Very common,
Or I think sometimes even we don't know how to articulate what our needs are and what our desires and wants are. So it almost becomes like a macam ayam dengan itik berbual, right? We still talk, but we're not actually communicating with each other, and that can sometimes lead to a lot of other struggles in the couple relationship.
And what about for kids? Like, what is the main issue that parents nowadays have with their kids?
I mean, I think it also boils down to communication. But I think I would say I'm a new parent. My eldest is only coming to 3. I think for me, if I would talk about it from a personal sense, it's really understanding what they would need at different age points. I think as parents, we're also always negotiating about what kind of parenting styles do we have, because there's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be strict and firm, or you're authoritarian, or you go into gentle parenting, or there's so many different content out there about parenting. So it's really finding out what fits with our own values and what we want for our children, right? So it's really understanding what the child may need at their different developmental stages. I might be a bit more knowledgeable about what they need at different life stages, but it's still always a learning process for me to know what they want, because what you learn in books and when you're actually facing your kid tantruming, it is very different in real life or in reality.
Is it true that for children below the age of 4, it's not really necessary for them to be away from the family nucleus and to be put in school?
I think it really comes down to preferences, right? I think for some, they believe that below the age of 4, it's good to have that, because it's all about attachment, right? If the primary caregiver, for example, the mother is at home, mother can give that kind of attention and space to the kids, then that's fine. But there are others who also believe, okay, I mean, maybe in Singapore you have dual income, like our own household is dual income household, and we find that if they stay at home after a certain age, right? Because we started sending them to school about almost the age of 2, kan? We find that there's only limited things, capacity that we have at home with them. So the next best alternative is to send them to playgroup, so they learn how to interact with other children.
Kids,
they learn to, the songs and whatever that they need to learn and play at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know that nowadays, even in their school, there are screen time for them?
I think I do know. I think certain schools have, certain schools don't have. So it's also choices like that you make.
Depends,
what kind of school environment you get them to go to. Yeah, I think as parents you make so many decisions. 10,001 decisions about your kids. Screen time or no screen time. Screen time, what content you show, how many minutes, you know, what kind of food you give. Some people are very keen on like organic food, some are not. So many different decisions to make. I think ultimately you have to make the decision that is best suited for your family. Right, you cannot make decisions that does not fit with you and your family and your own values. Other people are allowed to do what they want to do. You do what's best for you and what you think is best for your kids.
Kadang-kadang you get that that niggling thing in your ear kan, no, you cannot do like that. Why? Because I heard my friend don't do this. Then you go for your Hari Raya visiting and all that kan, then your makcik tell you macam awak tak boleh tahu, tak kasih anak awak tengok TV, awak nak kena kasih tengok all these things kan.
The hearsays
all these hearsay kan. Then dia macam you balik rumah you reflect kan, alamak betul ke tak betul kan. You get all of these things right. Dan kita macam betul tak Bi? Dia macam I pun tak tahu. Your child is always an experiment to you kan.
That's true.
Kan?
Especially your first child, they say.
Especially your first child. Habis kita punya first child 3.
Really?
We got triplets.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Wow.
We have triplet
I was about to
boys.
ask like what are the rest of the ages?
We got triplet boys, and then we got another boy that came. He's 5 months
newborn.
now. Newborn. So now we got 4 boys. Our experiment,
hero,
we experimented with 3 heroes. Kau bayangkan lah?
At the same time.
At the same time. Yeah. So it's not easy, and we always try to do our best lah kan. At the end of the day, you know what is best for your own child, because you are the one who's spending most of the time with the child. Don't let these other people tell you all these other things lah kan.
And it's always important, we always check in on each other. Hey, I read this content, I saw this. Do you think this is aligned with, do you think this is something we can do together? Because I can't do it alone, neither can he do it alone. Because parenting journey is you have to be united in your front. Right? So how do we tag team with each other? I have moments where I am at my limit. Maybe I had a very bad day, I'm really exhausted and the kids are tantruming and I know I cannot handle. I don't have the capacity. My battery is at 20. Then I say, babe, you handle lah. Give me like half an hour to just de-stress, and then I recharge my battery and then I can come and attend. So it's also knowing about your capacity, whether you can handle certain things happening at home at that point in time or not.
How do you communicate that? Because for me and my wife, we never really tell each other, hey, I really can't take it. We just like try to, just power through. But how do you guys communicate that to each other?
I'm about to slap this boy. I'm about to slap this boy. You go and handle him, man. It can be something like that lah. I mean, sometimes you just let some steam off, kan.
Or like sometimes when I see he's getting a bit more agitated, I say, babe, let me handle. You take a break. Right?
Hold back.
Right? Or then he will, if he sees me being very flustered, he's okay. You go and take a break. Then sometimes you need somebody to tell you, hey, you're being a bit off today. So we communicate that to each other, and then after that, so we don't usually like to go each other when we're doing something wrong in the moment in front of the kids, because we of course make mistakes, right? So after that, once both of us have cooled down, and I'm like, babe, just now when you did this, that was not really appropriate. Next time, let's try to do this instead. So the kids don't see us argue or put fire to the coal in the moment. It'll be done much later after that, when we're a bit cool off. So he's very open to receiving feedback from me, and I'm also very open to receiving feedback from him.
Kita trying this gentle parenting thing lah.
Slow,
like ni apa semua experience. Tapi aku dulu bila aku dibesarkan bro, aku dengan tali pinggang semua.
Right, different.
Tali pinggang, hanger, badminton racket semua jangan terus.
So it's very hard when you grow up in a certain way, your upbringing, and then you're trying to do something different. You're trying to break certain patterns, it's also very hard. That's why I say it's about your capacity. If you feel like at that day you don't have the capacity, you need somebody to help you. Because otherwise you might continue doing the same thing that you intentionally did not want to do in the first place.
Right.
I understand that Ashraf is at the farm quite frequent, right? So if that is the case, if you were, like your battery is out, how do you handle that then?
I mean, I would say I'm grateful I have good help. I have my helpers.
Okay.
So then I find like helpers are there to help.
Yeah.
Right? They're also my team, my team members. So if I cannot, I'll say, Bibi, can you just kejap lah? I need to step out sekejap. Or then, then I cool down and attend, right? So, like say because we have 3 of them in that tantruming age, right?
Yeah.
If somebody is tantruming, I'll say, okay, come, let me bring you to the room. So, because if not, I also get overstimulated. Semua orang crying at the same time.
Yeah.
So you handle this, I'll take one, and then we take turns.
It's quite a challenge.
Yeah, so then it's learning as we go along.
If like 3 of them cries at the same time, then how you gonna console? Like one room.
Someone now they are already at the fighting age also, right?
Yes, they
Yeah.
Tak, kita sekarang ni, kita teaching them how to negotiate with each other.
Good shit.
Okay.
Sales
Yeah, the 3 of you sit down. Okay, now what? What is the problem? Siapa yang buat ni hal dulu? How can we share? How can we compromise? How can we take turns? Kan?
We try. Like recently, they wanted to listen to different songs.
Okay.
Right? So I say, okay, then you want to listen to this song, you want to listen to this other song. You talk to each other lah. You tell me which song you want first. So this one Saleh, and this song first. This one, and then somehow because they already verbal kan.
Yeah.
Then like, okay, Umi, the Rasul song. Oh, okay. Then we play Rasul song, and after that we play Thomas song. Okay.
Okay.
So a lot of try and error lah.
Kasi dia settle masalah dia sendiri, babe.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, learning this at a young age.
Yeah.
Siblings. Wow.
Learning negotiation at a young age, I think that's very important.
Very important.
Because if not, there are some people who like keep, and then one day they may just blow up.
Yeah.
But if they know how to articulate, like you mentioned, know how to speak to each other, I think that will definitely help them a lot.
Yeah. Or we use the concept of taking turns. Okay, today, number 1 decide. Okay, what do you want to watch first? Okay, and then you. So they learn how to wait, be a bit more patient, and then wait for their turn to come.
Yeah, my kids over the simplest thing, like for example, want to send them to school. Who get into the car first also is an issue.
I can imagine.
And then one of my daughter will want to send my other daughter to the class first before sending her, and then so must take turns. So to me, like, wow, this kind of small thing also is an issue.
To them it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Umi duduk depan. Tiga nak duduk dengan Umi. Macam.
Then how?
How? Take turns
Take
lah.
turns lah. Listen to one crying lah.
So like have to like sacrifice lah.
Yeah.
Some might need to just cry out.
Yeah.
Because they're still kids.
It will happen.
It will
Yeah.
happen.
It
I
will
think
happen.
it's expecting that this will happen eases a lot of our anxieties. Like we know when we do this, somebody will cry. So we don't get triggered. We don't get triggered when somebody is crying because we expect them to cry because they're children. Right? We expect them to have a lot of discomfort when they have to wait or learn how to be patient because their impulse control is still very high.
They're still at the age kan.
Right? So when we expect that these are normal, we just expect it, it's normal. We just deal with it as it comes along. Then we also don't feel pressured to like, our kids cannot cry or our kids cannot tantrum because that's their age.
Yeah, betul.
Cuma kadang-kadang memang bingit lah.
Yeah,
Bingit lah, of course.
Lepas tu kat depan kau satu apik bawa slow kat first lane. Belakang member dia melalak. Kau mesti bingit ni.
Yeah. You can have like
It gets to
sway
you
your
lah.
moods.
After kau kena macam dia masih budak lagi lah. Apik ni aku maki.
Throw away your tantrum somewhere else.
Yeah. So how do you eventually become a shepherdess? Like I understand just now Ashraf mentioned your mom is the one who pushed him to set up the farm and come up with this whole business idea, right? But for you yourself, how do you plug yourself in, or is this just a byproduct because your husband is doing it?
Itu accidental occupation
Accidental occupation, you're right. I think it was done all in the name of supporting him and my mom in the business. So a lot of the back end, the paperwork, and he consult me, I consult him. So we brainstorm with each other. Who else do we have, right? When we first started, we don't have any staff. It's just the two of us. So whether I wanted it or not, but I'm glad I'm a part of this journey. Is that that's how we started lah. It was it's a macam byproduct, but now it's really I have dedicated time for it because it's where it is right now lah. Yeah, so it's like you said, your earlier question about quality time and all that. It's really having to plan out my days way ahead of time so that I can dedicate actual time for that work.
But were you someone who I would say entrepreneurial from the start?
I actually had I still have another business of my own.
Okay.
Even at the point where I met Ashraf, or before I met him even. So I have a business with my auntie. We sell honey from Yemen. So that's my other business as well. And then when I met him, it's this Shepherdess work. So I think, you were asking Ashraf earlier about, his parents and entrepreneurship. I think my father is also an entrepreneur, or he has his own business. It's just that I've never really paid attention to it.
Okay.
Only until much later. Right.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Yeah, actually, this is a business. So my dad imports dates for Ramadan in Brunei. He also cooks Arab rice, mandi rice for like home catering in Brunei. So I never really thought that as a business until like March. I said, hey, this one business, what? Right.
Yeah.
So my father has always done that. So I think eventually I also got into that journey of having maybe a bit of acumen about entrepreneurship.
Okay. When did you start the honey business?
Honey business was probably in 2014.
2014.
15. Yeah, that was around that time. And then I met Ashraf actually in a business context as well.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Maybe
Business
we'll
context
share
and
that.
network.
Yeah.
It was a seminar. It was a talk.
It was a talk. Yeah, it was a talk that he was one of the speaker. And then, so usually, after every talk, you kind of want to get to know the speaker a bit more. And then he was one of them. And that's how we first had our contact lah.
So cool. That means you meet each other in a networking or seminar event.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was a teacher. And then I fell in love with my student.
Hey, coach. I just call you coach.
Wow. What were you talking about back then?
I was talking about what I was doing lah. So how I was dabbling into the businesses in Malaysia.
You talk about some of your struggles and your setbacks. Yeah.
So then I didn't want to fluff it lah. People with presentation slides lah, telling you this is what it is lah. Man. People don't want to hear these things lah.
You don't have any slides?
I don't have any slides. I come to you, I tell you, okay, you want to hear? This is how it is. Kan?
Wow.
Okay.
Interesting. I have actually a question for Nabilah. Have you even thought for your therapist work to become a business itself?
Yes, I have. I have certain ideas or vision or plans about one day opening up my own center or something else along those lines. I do have that dream, but I do also know that when you start off, you need to learn a lot of the things in the industry. But I'm glad at the place where I'm serving. So I learned all these things that's needed.
Right.
Hopefully one day, if inshallah I open my own place, I would also credit the places that I've worked as a full-time employee at.
Okay. One day lah, inshallah.
Inshallah, yeah. We'll definitely pray for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so just now I wanted to ask. Just now, Ashraf mentioned that your mom is interested in farming and all, right? Were you or did you have any interest in it at all? No interest at all.
No, not at all.
And
zero.
when he proposed this idea to you, what was inside your mind?
I think when my mom and him had that conversation on their own, right? Mi nak buat ni.
Going behind you.
Going behind me, whatever lah, So and then they're like, okay, let's do it. And I'm like, are you guys serious? Okay. I think that was my initial thought. Okay. Or is it just macam berbual kosong, it's just a conversation? And I'm like, oh, it's actually happening. Oh, okay. All right, let's see how this goes. So, to be honest, in the initial stages, it's not easy. Having this business is not easy. We had days or months that we didn't have money because money is being put into the business. You can't expect the business, you put in, say, 100,000 and then suddenly, the next day, you get successful and all that. It's a lot of hard work. So we've had some months where my income was the main breadwinner for the family, and that was something we negotiate from the get-go, right? I said, you want to do your dream. I understand that this is a dream that you have and that my mom has, and these are sacrifices that needs to be made. It needs to be made, right? So then slowly, we bring in certain income, and then you develop from there. So business not always on top. Sometimes it's down as well. So it's really negotiating with each other. This month tak cukup lah. Can you cover this a bit more? Or some months he's like, this month you tak payah cover anything. I cover everything. So it's a lot of give and take in terms of that.
Nice.
Okay. But back to about being a farmer, right? Like, do you have any interest? Because like Ashraf, it was clear he breed all these different animals in his own house. But for you, understanding that you're also afraid of cats, kan? Like, how is it like the idea?
Do you force yourself?
No, I love animals. I love animals. Once upon a time, I wanted to become a vet. Long time ago as a child.
Okay.
So I love animals. I'm not scared of the animals. But when this came, it's almost like a bit more natural as well to want to dabble into this business. So it's from zero knowledge to knowing, there's different breeds of sheep. The sheep and goat are two different things. I had to learn that. I didn't know. I thought goat, kambing lah,
Yeah.
But then there's different types, there's different uses for it. So it's about learning about the business and the industry as I went along. So I had no dreams of this, I'd be honest. But it has become my dream to want to see this succeed, because I'm very involved in it. I see how hard my husband works, and the literal blood, sweat and tears that he puts in. It's only natural for me to want to be in that process with him.
I see. Yeah. That's very inspiring. Having that support from your wife especially. It's not easy when, like, for example, the wife has been having a iron rice bowl throughout their whole life, and then suddenly decide like, hey, I'll support you throughout, and if some months you can't make it, it's okay, I'll try to cover. I think it's difficult to have a lot of people with that same kind of vision, same kind of mindset also.
Yeah, I think for us, I think this is my advice lah. My advice to men, husbands and all that is that when you have the issues looming over your head, you have to talk about it. You have to tell. Don't keep it there and have to expect to solve it on your own. And if you don't have, you say you don't have. Your wife has already sworn her life for you. So through thick and thin, if that is supposed to be real, then when that kind of episode or whatever happens, then she should also come up and step up to the game, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. My husband is in some sort of rut. I need to help with whatever, and then come up to terms or find a solution to how you can manage your finances and your problems, kan? And then after that, when things get better, of course, because your wife has already sacrificed, takkan you nak biarkan dia macam itu. You remunerate her, you give her, you appreciate, and then do things so that you can get her more involved or more interested.
Right.
You get the support that you need, right?
Yeah.
You don't hide your pain.
Yeah.
You don't shove it aside and then expect your wife to understand. She wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't know. You keep something she can smell. There's something wrong. But then you're gonna say no. Then she's gonna be guessing, and then at the end of the day, pasal duit
sometimes like when the wife is not interested, whatever that you are sharing, then it becomes like, might as well I don't share.
Yeah. It can be like that.
So what's your advice for this kind of
this kind of
situation?
couple?
I would like to think of it as the fact that he allows me to pursue my passion and what I like. There's many times he tells me, quit your job lah, do this full time. Right? And there's always a source of argument with us. Like, I cannot, not because of the money. Money is good lah. Money is good, and you know there's somebody who's stable in that sense. But it's also my passion. I've studied very long for it, hard for it. It's not an easy industry to be in, and I would say I'm good in what I'm doing lah. Alhamdulillah. So it becomes, and then I'll be like, I'm thinking, okay, if my husband supports me in my passion, it's only natural that I do the same for him. Right? That
Yeah.
I would take it as a blessing that he allows me to work in the first place, and he supports me in what I do. So there are times where I had to travel, had to go for classes. You go work and then you come home, you do your assignment. So and it's a time taken away from us, and he supports that. So it's only natural that I also support his dream, and his dream becomes my dream. So he will tell me, okay, now he's like, okay, you do whatever you want. You want to go for this course? Let me support you in it. He doesn't stop me from doing anything that I want. So why should I stop him from doing what he wants?
Nice.
Right? So it's really about understanding that your dreams can be a shared dream. So he celebrates my successes at work. I celebrate his successes
Vice
in
versa.
his work. And both of us are happy in doing what we're doing. So, but when he needs help with the business, I'm also there. So that's also part of the role that I play. Yeah. So because if you don't support each other's dream, then where would it go, right? Because it's a long-term relationship. You want your marriage to work. Because I've had couples even in my work context where they're like, my husband don't know, my wife don't support me. They don't know what I'm doing. But
Yeah.
we might as well not tell them what's going on. I'm actually
Right.
having these problems. They are individuals that I know who take up loans, and credit card loans, loan sharks, just because wife is asking for money. Where's the money?
Kau tak boleh,
Right.
I mean, you cannot share your problem. Kau tak boleh keep the things open in your relationship. Kau kahwin dengan dia apa pasal? Kan?
That's true.
Kau kahwin dengan dia benda apa pasal? Kau kahwin dengan lembu ke apa? Kan? Tak boleh lah. You cannot hide this thing from your spouse, and then you cannot expect her to understand, or you to understand what she wants or what she expects from you.
Yeah.
If you don't communicate,
Yeah.
kan? So if you do that, and then you appreciate, you support her, she supports you, you're in a marriage for the long run lah. Dan ni kalau kau dah pergi angkat duit along, kau dah pergi angkat loan apa benda semua, and after you don't say, actually I got outstanding 30,000. Bini ada savings 50,000, babe.
Right. Tak
Kan?
bisa.
Yeah, that's true.
Tapi kau nak keluarkan kau tak boleh. Kau tak tahu pun dia ada. Macam mana?
Yeah. So for me, I take it as in order for somebody to want to share, you also need to be ready to listen. Because it's a two-way process, right? Like
Yeah.
if he's wanting to share with me and I'm not ready to listen, I'll cut him off. I'll shut down. And that's not going to be healthy.
Yeah.
So whoever wants their spouse to share things with them, they need to be prepared to listen and also reciprocate.
Right. Because you see, business itself is a marriage.
Yes.
And then your marriage is a marriage.
Yeah.
So between men, it's like having two affairs. Business and your wife. So which one to choose?
Yeah.
So I think based on what you guys said, it's like merging both of them together
Come together.
and making it work.
Yeah.
And we will
Both
have
ways.
conversations that, okay, I'm not speaking to you as your wife. I'm speaking to you as a business partner.
Okay.
So we are bantering on ideas. I'm not here to attack you, but I'm going to play the devil's advocate. So I make it obvious that
Yeah.
this is business conversation. So I might not agree with everything that you want to do. It's not because I don't support you as your wife, but as a business partner, this doesn't make sense. So having that distinction sort of like works for us in a way. Of course, in the beginning, it was all rojak lah.
Yeah.
We get into argument. Why are you not supporting me? But I'm not attacking you. It
Personal,
became personal until we're like, hey, this doesn't work.
You don't love me.
I see. Okay, so that is how you communicate lah.
And then we also what do you call it? Fine tune tau. After we fine tune, then I know, okay, this turf, this is your turf. Gua tak kacau, babe. Ni tempat, gua ambil tempat, lu jangan langgar.
Okay.
Kan?
There's a line.
There's a line, and then when I need the intervention, okay, what's wrong with the turf? What's wrong? What's going on in there? If there's nothing going on, you go and rock it. Jalan, do what you need. All the staff in all these other countries, wherever they are, and even in Singapore and all that, kan, need to hold the fort somewhere. If I'm not around, she holds the fort. Kan? Oh, kalau Ashraf dia gini. As much as I know, this is what he will do. Then they will do. Kan? For me lah, macam, okay, office, to all of them, she's office. Office, my expectation is gini. Kau kan jangan langgar ni benda.
Okay.
Ni protokol dia.
Like a department.
Ni department dia. So that works very well lah.
Nice.
Okay.
There's something that he's really good at. There's some things I'm also good at.
Yes.
Right? So we divide and conquer. Because no one person cannot do everything.
Right. And somehow you guys complement each other lah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay,
Alright.
so we take a break for part 2, and we'll continue in part 3 to know more about how they treat their business as their own marriage also.
Gua zalim, bro.
Alright.
Inshallah.
See you on the part 3. Bye bye. Imagine being told a year ago that your next big adventure wouldn't involve scaling mountains but embarking on a journey into sheep breeding. That's right, sheep breeding. A venture that's not just a leap into unknown, but a step towards something truly rewarding. A chance to connect with nature, to invest in life, and to see growth in the most unexpected of ways. With Aliyah Rizq Holdings, this isn't just a dream. It's a tangible opportunity to invest in a program designed not just for financial return, but for a sustainability and connection to Earth. Ready to start your adventure in sheep breeding? Visit tgnpodcast.com/ARHinvest and discover how you can be part of this. This podcast is brought to you by Aliyah Rizq Holdings, and we still have Ashraf and Nabilah.
It's all right. So, Nabilah, can you share with us, aside from the investment opportunity that you have for retail investors like us, what other opportunities that ARH actually provide?
Right. So what we do is we have Qurban and Aqiqah agents and affiliate system that you can sign up with us. Right. I think soon in the next couple of months it's Qurban period, so we're busy at this point in time, and we're actually recruiting for agents and also affiliates.
Okay.
So let me share with you a little bit about the difference, because that's the question people ask. Hey, what's the difference between agents and affiliates? So affiliates are individuals, mostly individuals who will potentially sell under our brand, which is Aliyah Rizq. So that means in terms of the ordering system is the same with us. So what they get at the end, based on how much they sell, is the commissions at the end that they get.
This is for affiliates.
This is for affiliates.
Okay.
So they will send under our brand of Aliyah Rizq Farm or Aliyah Rizq Holdings, and all the back end work, everything is done with us. So all they know is they get their customers to go to our website, put in all the order details, and they have their each have their own unique referral ID that their customers can key in, and that's how we capture, this is this affiliate's customer base, and then that's where the commissions is captured.
Nice.
So everything is done on our platform. It's very straightforward.
Okay.
So for agents, it's for companies who wants to sell under their own brand. Right, so that means if you have, like, say, if the Golden Nuggets want to become an agent, then all the certification, everything in the front is the Golden Nuggets, nothing to do with Aliyah Rizq. So what we do is we are the suppliers for you according to the different countries that we offer. So we offer you a supplier rate that you also will get your commissions based on that. So for us, agents would have a bit more flexibility in terms of the selling price. So we give you a price that's fixed. You decide how much you want to sell. We can give you a recommended selling price, and then you can go ahead and do that. So that means you promote the Golden Nuggets as the agent. So that's the difference between affiliates and agents.
We can do the Golden Ummah.
Ooh, exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, we can plan.
Okay. So that means the affiliates or the agents, they will get commissions.
Yes, correct.
Okay, but for the agents, what they will get is they will get the payment, and then they will transfer the actual payment to you guys.
Yeah.
Whereas for the affiliates, because there's a referral link there, you guys will be paying them the commissions.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, that's very seamless also for anyone who wants to be a part of this.
So like I shared earlier, if you've listened to the earlier podcast, we have our systems guy.
Yeah.
So everything is done on Google Sheets, right? So all the agents need to do is just follow that system, type in which country, how many animals, and then everything will be done on our end, including certificate generation, according later on the photos allocation and distribution, all will be done on our end, because our intent is we want to make it easy for the agents and also affiliates, so that you don't have to think about the back end system. You don't have to think about the operations. All you need to do is I get the orders, I submit, everything will be done for me. And what we strive for is to update them every step of the way. That means, say we have like 10 different countries. Once, like say Malaysia is completed, we'll message them. Okay, Malaysia is completed, and then next day maybe Indonesia completed. So at every time we'll update them so they can also liaise with their customers about
Stocks.
About the stocks, or about when, because we have some customers who are very particular about shaving and also cutting their nails, right? All the sunnah. So then once we update them, they'll update their customers, and then they can do whatever they need to do.
Once the Qurban is done.
Once the Qurban is done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting. You also mentioned about Aqiqah, right?
Yes.
So what's the difference between Qurban and Aqiqah? And also for the agents and affiliates, are there any difference in terms of the commissions that they get?
Aqiqah is something that we can do all year round, right? Aqiqah is normally for when you have a newborn. One animal is slaughtered for, when it comes to sheep, one animal is slaughtered for a female, and 2 animals is slaughtered for the boys, right? So the girls 1, the boys 2. So we have quite a number of agents and affiliates who will do this on a yearly basis, on an everyday basis. So what they will need to do is they will need to inform us minimally 2 to 3 days earlier of the preferred date, because you have customers who want to slaughter Aqiqah on their 7th day or 14th day or whichever day. So then we will normally need to get a few days in advance just to prepare the stuff for it. And then on the day of slaughter, they will get proof of slaughter of photos before and after, so that they know once it's completed with us. So usually our process is that the animals will be taken with their certificate that's printed, one before after and one after photo.
Okay. And if let's say for the agents, right, because we are using our own brand, how are they going to like show the proof of the slaughter with the brand itself?
So what for Qurban and both Aqiqah, the certificate. So that means we get the certificates from the agents, how they want their cert to look like, and then we'll do the back end system for it. So that means if say the golden nuggets have their own certificate, so whenever we slaughter, it's slaughtered with your certificate. The before and after photo. And then for us, we're very strict on PDPA, because that's how Singapore operates, right? We will not liaise directly with your customers, even if we have their your names or their names or their details. We take it as we have to operate this in an honest capacity, that this is your customers, even if I know this person. And that has happened before. This is a friend of mine. Tapi dia beli from, say, Golden Nuggets. I will not touch, I will not ask, because that is the privacy and the thing that we give to our agents lah.
I see.
Okay. Is this a common like practice and things that happens for all the sheep and goat farmers?
I'm not too sure. Maybe Ashraf can have your input on this.
Usually, sheep and goat farmers, they would want to sell on their own, right? They want to sell on their own because they think that, when they sell their own stocks, they can, of course, make money for the farm to
100%.
Their own upkeep lah. Which is something that I believe is quite old-fashioned. I think it needs to change, because you see, farmers need each other.
Yes,
right?
I agree. Right. Especially nowadays,
there's a lot of farmers who are giving up, and then youngsters are not coming up to becoming farmers. You want to be selfish, you cannot lah. Right. So this is something that I've been doing on the ground for the past, I think 6-7 years. I've been going to the ground, talking to farmers, and creating contract farmers and network farmers that can support each other. You see, so when I don't have stocks, I can buy from him. I can get from you. I can get from him. I can get from that person. If they don't have stocks, they can get from me. Right. So when that happens, then the market share that you get is larger, because you're working in a conglomerate, right? So that scale, you don't have to be thinking about just selling your stocks, right? You just sell. Why? Because if you have already sold out, you still got stocks behind you.
Okay. Right? So you don't need to worry about stocks lah.
You have to worry. Why worry? You have to worry about not having enough.
That's
I think
true.
answering your question, I think the position that we take is our aim is to be the market leader and market supplier, right? And we cannot do that alone, definitely, right? So we are perfectly fine. Maybe some agencies, they would prefer to like put their name out there. Nothing wrong with that, but for us, our philosophy is we need to also empower other businesses to also do their businesses.
Yes.
We cannot say that we're entrepreneurs. We want to empower when we sekat-sekat and you have to sell only our brand. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
So that's why we have these 2 different systems, where if you want to start out, and we do have those individuals now who started as our affiliate, and then they say, quite good order. Can I sell it under my own brand? And I'm like, of course you can. So then they become their own. They can become their agent. The agent, before that, they were an affiliate. And then they start their own business. And then they start to sell other things like korma, kappa. So then we support that business in that way.
Nice.
And can you share with our listeners, how do they eventually become an affiliate or an agent?
They can contact us. I think we'll share the number and the link. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just drop us a DM. And there's also a contact number that is linked to it. And then the team will support you in what you need. So we'll do it very black and white. There's a contract, an agreement that you sign. So you know beforehand what are your expectations, what are the things that we can deliver, when we will deliver it, how much would it cost, how much commissions you will get, when is the commissions payout, what's the payment system like. Everything will be laid out, and if it's comfortable for them, then we sign the agreement and we'll proceed with that.
So imagine, last time you, let's say you're going to be a farmer.
Okay.
And then you want to sell one particular sheep, right? You have to go through this whole process now. Who's the customer you got to sell?
Yes.
And then what kind of sheep you want to buy? And then whose name is it that wants to buy the sheep? And then when is the date of slaughter? How many kilos is the sheep at that time?
Yeah.
All the animal health checks. Cukup umur ke tidak? Berat ke tidak?
Wow, so many things.
Cacat ke tidak? Sehat ke tidak? Tua ke tidak? You do all that. And then on the Qurban day, find a location that you want to go and slaughter. You slaughter the animal. You got to buang the kulit. You got to cincang the daging. And then you got to find a beneficiary. You got to go and distribute this whole chain.
So many steps.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then now you have us,
Yeah.
who's doing all of these things, right?
You
go
just
and
focus
find-
on the selling.
You focus on the selling, click a few names.
That's it.
Halas.
Yes, I do all the back end for you. Why you worry? Can.
So
that's
my
awesome,
team's motto is we make it easy for the customers and agents. Kalau kita susah sikit tak apa. But so that's why we look at automation. Like generating of certs, we started off with key in manually. Now we have there's so many different technologies to explore. It can be automated. So a lot of the things are pretty easy once you have the system ready.
I keep telling my magician Nasi Hairi ni. I said, if it is not difficult enough for you, then it is not easy enough for the customer.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not easy enough for your client. It must be difficult.
Uh-huh.
We tank in the difficulty. Kalau kita nak senang, diorang susah lah. Diorang kena buat all the work.
Betul.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
That's very interesting.
So we've
philosophy.
actually had some agents who actually go to Indonesia and have their own event set up.
Okay.
Right, so that's something that we do for them as well. So okay, your total order is like say 150. You want to do it at one location. You not get the team and around, but this is my event. So we also cater to that as well.
Interesting. So this is like custom plan for.
But it has to
Qurban.
be a substantial order. Like if it's maybe like 2-3, we cannot attend to that. But if it's like a substantial amount that can allow for that, then we cater to that.
Okay, so
That's great.
not only they have the investment opportunity for retail investors, they also have the affiliate and the agent program for people to be earning commission when they sell the livestock itself.
Yes.
So very interesting by ARH, and I think we proceed to the third part where they are going to share about the farm tours.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. See you on the next one.
Right.